Welcome everyone to our first session on principles and practices of banking. The first paper in DBF is Principles and Practices of Banking. Let's see what are all the contents of this course. It contains mainly 5 modules, that is Module A, Module B, Module C, and Module D and Module E. So in Module A, it mainly deals with Indian financial system. Module B is based on functions of banks. Module C is banking technology. Module D is support services, that is marketing of banking services or products. And then Module E is ethics in banking and financial institutions. So in Module A, Indian financial system, we have Indian financial system and overview, then banking regulations, retail banking, wholesale and international banking, ADR, GDR and participatory notes, role of money markets, fixed income markets and forex markets, FEMA, role and functions of capital markets, Securities and Exchange Board of India, that is SEBI, role and functions of mutual funds, insurance companies, bancassurance and Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, IRDAI, and then factoring, forfeiting services and off balance sheet items. Then risk management and Basel 2 and 3 norms and overview, alliances, mergers and consolidation, credit information companies, fair practices code for debt collection, and banking codes and standards board of India, recent developments in the Indian financial system. So in module A, we have 11 units. Then moving on to module B, functions of banks, we have from 12th unit to 23rd unit. So let's see what it covers. Banker customer relationship, banker special relationship, banking ombudsman scheme and consumer protection act, that is COPRA act, and then payment and collection of checks and other negotiable instruments, opening accounts of various types of customers, ancillary services, cash management services and its importance, principles of lending, working capital assessment and credit monitoring, priority sector advances, agricultural finance, micro, small and medium enterprises in India, government sponsored schemes, and then self-help groups, credit cards, home loans, personal loans, consumer loans, documentation, different modes of charging securities, types of collateral and their characteristics, non-performing assets, that is prudential norms on income recognition, asset classification and provisioning pertaining to advances, financial inclusion and financial literacy. Then moving on to module C, that is banking technology, there are mainly 5 units from 31 to 35. It is relatively very small unit, but it is one of the important unit. Essentials of bank computerization, payment system and electronic banking, data communications network and EFT systems, role of technology upgradation and its impact on banks, security considerations. So these units are covered under module C, that is banking technology. And then in module D, support services, that is marketing of banking services or products. Here we have units 36 to 44. It covers all the marketing aspects of banking products. About introduction to marketing, social media marketing, consumer behavior and product, pricing, distribution, channel management, promotion, role of direct selling agent or direct marketing agent in a bank, marketing information systems, a longitudinal analysis. Then moving on to module E, which is based on ethics in banks and financial institutions, we have 5 units, that is 45 to 49. Ethics, business ethics and banking, and integration perspective, ethics at the individual level, ethical dimensions, employees, work ethic and the workplace, banking ethics, changing dynamics. So here we have some detailed summary under each module, under each unit. The first unit is Indian financial system, second is banking regulation, retail banking. So inside the Indian financial system, we will study about what is the role of RBI, what is the role of commercial banks, what is NBFCs, PDs, FIs, cooperative banks, CRR, SLR, equity and debt market, IRDA, etc. Then in unit 2 under banking regulation, we will study constitution, objectives, functions of RBI, tools of monetary control, regulatory restrictions on lending, etc. Then under the retail banking, wholesale and international banking, we will study about retail banking, its products, opportunities, wholesale banking, products, international banking, requirements of importers and exporters, remittance services, universal banking, ADR, GDR, participatory notes. Then under role of money markets and debt markets and foreign markets, we will see about types of money and debt market instruments, including GSECs, that is government securities, ADs, FEMA, LIBOR, MIBOR, etc. Then role and functions of capital markets and SEBI. Under that, we are going to cover overview of capital market, stock exchange, commonly used terms, types of capital issues, financial products or instruments including ASBA, QIP, SEBI, registration of stock brokers, sub brokers, share transfer agents, etc., and then QIBs, mutual fund and insurance companies, bank assurance, and IRDA. Under this unit, we will be covering types of mutual funds, its management and its role and functions of insurance companies, bank assurance, IRDA. Then, under the factoring, forfeiting services, and off balance sheet items, we will be covering types and advantages of factoring and forfeiting services, types of off balance sheet items. Then, under the next unit, risk management, Basel Accords, introduction to risk management, Basel 1, Basel 2, and Basel 3 norms or accords. Then, under the Civil Fair Practices Code for Debt Collection, BCSBI, we will be looking into role and functions of Civil Fair Practices Code for Debt Collection, codes of BCSBI. Then recent developments in financial system. We are going to look into structure, reforms in the Indian financial system, recent developments in money, debt, forex markets, regulatory framework, payments and settlement system. So with this, module A is over, and then moving on to module B about functions of bank, we are going to study these topics. First, under the first unit, that is banker customer relationship, types of banker, different deposit products and services to customers and investors, etc. Then KYC, AML or CFT norms, PMLA Act, KYC norms that we are going to study. Then banker special relationship, mandate, POA, garnishee orders, bankers lien, write off, set off. And then under consumer protection, that is COPRA, Banking Ombudsman Scheme, we are going to study about the operational aspects of COPRA Act and Banking Ombudsman Scheme. Then payment and collection of checks and other negotiable instruments, we are going to look into what is NI Act, role and duties of paying and collecting banks, endorsement, forged instruments, bouncing of checks, its implications, return of checks truncation system, etc. Then opening accounts of various types of customers, operational aspects of opening and maintaining accounts of different types of customers, including Aadhaar, SB rate deregulation. Then moving on to the ancillary services units, we will cover about the remittances, safe deposit lockers, government, business, and EBT. Then coming on to the cash operations, we will be looking into cash management services and its importance. Then principles of lending, working capital assessment and credit monitoring. Under this, we are going to look into cardinal principles, non-fund based limits, working capital, term loans, credit appraisal techniques, sources of working capital funds and its estimation, operating cycle, projected net working capital, turnover method, cash budget, credit monitoring and its management, base rate. Then, under the priority sector advances, we will be looking into targets, sub-targets, and recent developments under priority sector advances. Then, under the agricultural finance, we are going to look into types of agricultural loans, risk mitigation in agriculture, that is NAIS and MSP, etc. Then, under MSME or micro, small, and medium enterprises, we are going to look into MSAD Act 2006 policy package for MSMEs, performance and credit rating system, latest developments in MSME sector. Then government sponsored schemes, maybe SGSY, SJSRY, PMRY, and SLRS. Then self help groups, need and functions of self help groups, role of NGOs in direct finance to SHGs and SGSY scheme, capacity building. Then moving on to the next unit, credit cards, home loans, personal loans, consumer loans. Under this, we are going to study about the operational aspects, advantages, disadvantages, and guidelines of credit cards, procedures and practices for home loans, personal loans and consumer loans. Then next unit we are going to move into documentation. So we are going to see what are all the types of documents, procedure, stamping, securitization, etc. Then different modes of charging securities, assignment, lien, set off, hypothecation, pledge, mortgage. So this is going to be one of the important units. So there will be various MCQs asked in this unit. All the other units are also important. This is one of the areas where most of the questions are covered. Then types of collaterals and their characteristics, land and buildings, goods, documents of title to goods, advances against insurance policies, shares, book debts, term deposits, gold, etc. Then under the non-performing assets, we cover the definition, income recognition, asset classification, provision norms, and CDR. Under the next unit, financial inclusion, we will be covering what is BC, role of ICT in financial inclusion, mobile based transactions, and RSETI. Then, under the financial literacy unit, we will be covering the importance of financial literacy, customer awareness. Then, moving on to the next module, banking technology. Under the banking technology, essentials of banking computerization, we are going to study about the computer systems, LAN, WAN, UPS, and core banking services. Then payment system and electronic banking, ATMs, HWAK, PIN, electronic magnetic cards, electronic banking, signature storage and retrieval system, CTS, note and coin counting machines, microfiche, NPC, and RuPay. Data communication network and EFT systems. We are going to look into components and modes of transmission, major networks in India, emerging trends in communication, networks for banking, evolution of EFT systems, SWIFT, automated clearing systems, fund transfer systems, recent developments in India. Then the next unit is role of technology upgradation and its impact on banks. Trends in technology developments, role and uses of technology upgradation, global trends, impact of IT on banks, security considerations. We are going to look into risk concern areas, types of threats, control mechanism, computer audit, IS security, IS audit, evaluation requirements, and so on. Then under overview of IT Act, Gopalakrishna Committee recommendations, we are going to see. Then preventive vigilance in electronic banking, phishing, customer education, safety checks, precautions, all these will be covered. Moving on to the next module of module D of support services, that is marketing of banking services or products. So first, in the first unit, that is introduction to marketing, we will be covering the concept of marketing, management, products and services, marketing mix and brand image. Then under social marketing or networking, evolution, importance and relevance of social marketing or networking, consumer behavior and product, consumer behavior, product planning, development strategies, etc. And then CRM. Under pricing, we are going to see the importance of pricing, objectives, factors, methods, strategies of pricing, bank pricing, etc. Then under distribution, we are going to look into the aspects of distributing channels, channels for banking services, net banking and mobile banking. Then channel management. Under channel management, we are going to see about the meaning of channel management, levels of channel management, dynamics and advantages. Under promotion, we are going to look into the role of promotion in marketing promotion mix. Under role of direct selling or direct marketing agent in a bank, definition, relevance, banker as DSA, DMA, delivery channels in banks, benefits, etc. will be explained. Then marketing information systems, a longitudinal analysis. Under this, we are going to see the functions and components of MKIS model, use of computers and decision models, performance of MKIS and its advantages. Then moving on to the last unit, that is module E, ethics in banking and financial institutions, ethics, business ethics and banking and integrated perspective. Under this unit, we are going to see what is business ethics, ethical foundation and banking ethics in global and Indian context, ethics at the individual level, that is values, norms, beliefs, morality, conflict, integrity, golden rule, dilemma, decision making. Under the ethical dimensions, employees, we are going to look into obligation to bank or third parties, abuse of official position, sexual harassment, conflict of interest, fair accounting practices, HRM ethics, employees as ethics ambassadors, and managers as ethical leaders. And under work ethic and the workplace. We are going to look into work ethics, benefits of ethical behavior, unethical behaviors, causes and remedies, code of ethics manual, whistleblowing in banks, whistleblowing laws in India. So under banking ethics, changing dynamics, we are going to look into ethics and technology, data security and privacy, intellectual property rights, patents and proprietary rights, ethics of information security, cyber threats, digital rights management, etc. So, this is what we are going to cover as a whole in this paper, that is principles and practices of banking. So, all the modules we have to cover, they are equally important, and hope you all have benefited from this session. Thank you so much.